We're discussing academic freedom and exploring to see if there's actually a viewpoint diversity crisis at Canadian universities. And joining me is Dr. Christopher Dummit, a professor of Canadian Studies at Trent University. Now, again, Professor Dummit, it was a fascinating study, and I really encourage everybody who wants to read it to go to the Macdonald-Laurier Institute webpage and they can look it up. But we're talking about academic freedom and why that's important. Why is it important that there is a diversity of viewpoints at universities? So please pick up where you left off.
Yeah, I think it's really important that that universities that are literally bastions of kind of our expertise about what's true about the world, what we want to question about the world, that they need to get things right. And we know that institutions where many people think alike on certain key issues, they just make mistakes, and they make mistakes for a bunch of important reasons. People who might have a different opinion but are kind of frightened to speak it out, even just for social reasons, will not give either important viewpoints or important facts. And so institutions where people think alike, whether it's universities or juries or judges, they would tend to make a lot of errors in those cases because they're not really fostering an open and frank discussion. And universities should be the place where we're most interested in getting really the broadest range of viewpoints represented. And the research suggests that homogenous organizations just won't allow that to happen.
Well, it sounds, based on what you're sharing with me here, it sounds that almost as if there's been a closing of Canadian universities, that in fact we are not small L liberal, where we have a plethora of idea exchange and as academic freedom to discuss things and to explore new ideas, but in fact we've become closed-minded. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, and I would say it's not always intentionally. I mean, it might be intentional in some parts, but certainly the effect when you have organizations where everyone thinks alike on certain issues. There are other issues where you can have incredible debate, and so it seems like there's great debates. I mean, if you think about it in terms of painters, you can have 600 shades of red or 300 shades of orange. So it seems like there's this really diversity of perspectives. But when no one's painting in blue, it's striking that no one's painting in blue, and so that's what you really need to think about, the way in which certain things get left out. And as I say, it doesn't even have to be intentional, and probably, in the most part, isn't intentional.
Now, again, further into more of your research, you said when you asked professors if they would be worried if their political opinions became known, almost 88% of the left-leaning professors were either not very worried or not worried at all. However, when you looked at the right-leaning majority, the situation changed. What happened?
Yeah, when we asked those questions about whether they were, even just worried about their political opinions becoming known, over 40% of right-leaning professors said that they'd be scared just to have someone know their political viewpoints. And then we asked a variety of questions about other issues, more precise issues about gender issues, or about EDI, equity, diversity, inclusion, and the numbers remain between 40 and 50% of people frightened, not even to teach on these issues, which is one thing we found as well, but just even to have someone know their personal political opinion. And in an institution that is predominantly, as we say, 88% of faculty are on the left, you can see why people on the left just aren't really concerned about this. They're unlikely to face any consequences, but the political minorities obviously feel quite differently.
Well, it doesn't sound like universities are a very tolerant place of diverging viewpoints these days, does it? How is it for students? I appreciate that your survey did not canvas students, but do you think it's a different situation for students? Are they afforded more academic freedom than a professor because they're paying to be there versus the other way around?
It doesn't seem to be the case. No, actually, colleagues of ours have done a student survey which isn't published yet. So I do know the results of a student survey which is done pretty similar to ours. And I know they found quite similar things, that there was a great deal of concern about inability to speak in class, outside of class. And the numbers were in some ways quite similar. It's complicated, though, in the sense that there was also, in some ways, especially in English Canada, a kind of a willingness to cancel other students, or to think other students should self-censor themselves. Because and our study found this as well, that the younger you went, that the younger faculty were more likely to support kind of canceling someone else. And I think the student research found, again, among students, obviously on average a younger group, that they also were more supportive of closing down topics of discussion.
It's just shocking to have a conversation with a professor on how we have like almost a systemic closing down of topics of discussion at universities. I mean, it's just jarring to me. This should be a place where we can have ideas exchanged. My goodness, I explored so many various ideas when I was at university. I encourage my children to do the same. Don't take my word for it. Do your research. Come up with your own ideas. How is this going to harm the quality of student we're churning out?
Well, if it continued, it would be incredibly negative. We wouldn't be fostering real and genuine discussion. I mean, there's a great essay by an American recently talked about the process as one that creates structural stupidity. Structural stupidity. And I love that because it basically if you don't face if you're not faced with intelligent, thoughtful arguments from those with whom you disagree. This is John Stuart Mill said this. You don't really know your own opinion.